Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 10 of the Road to Financial Freedom Challenge. Today, guys, we're going to talk about how to get rid of that nagging debt that you have. And I want to give you guys some real solutions that you can use with the money that you already have. And then, of course, there'll be some other strategies in here that you may be able to also implement in the road to financial freedom. For those of you that are new to my channel, I want to say welcome. Please take a moment to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell notification as I will be uploading videos every day in the month of January 2024. And of course, if you are catching these on the replay, definitely stick around and I will help you to take that first step to building your financial freedom and building a great and solid foundation to changing the way you see and manage your money. So, guys, we're going to talk about debt freedom, debt elimination, debt be gone. Because if you know you have been working for years, okay, we're not going to say months, we're going to say for years, and you know a large majority of your income has gone towards debt, whether you feel that you have not been making enough money and you were able to get access to more money, whether it be through loans or through credit cards, and now your debt has just skyrocketed to the point where it has become a very huge problem in your life, and you're feeling at your wit's end, you don't know what to do, and you're just at that point, you want to take some drastic measures. I want to encourage you that there is an answer, there is a way, and most of all, there is a solution. And I want to be able to give you some of those today. Well, first of all, if your goal is to be debt-free, you have to commit. What does that mean? That means you have to do more than say, oh, I want to be debt-free. That means you have to implement the steps that it's going to require you to do on a consistent basis. So as you can see, it says commit and consistency, because it is more than just saying it. You have to do something, and you have to do it on a continuous basis. So when it comes to becoming debt-free, you have to watch what you do. You have to watch where you spend. You have to watch where you put your money, because if your money is not making money, it's more than likely creating debt. What is your end goal? So when it comes to creating financial freedom, yes, you want to be debt free and financially free, but what is your end goal? Do you want to buy a house? Do you want to start a business? Or do you just want to sit back and say, I don't have to work to pay bills anymore? Those are the things that you need to basically put together in your mind, because that's what's going to motivate you. That's what's going to keep you focused. That's what's going to keep you on track so that you can do what you need to do each and every day, and to create that tunnel focus so you don't veer off the beaten path and do things that will hurt you, opposed to just really doing those things that will help you. So when it comes to eliminating debt, you have to understand what is the importance of this. Okay. Yes, you know you want to eliminate your debt because you're just tired of spending your money working to pay bills. But what are some other reasons that you can really think about that is really important when it comes to eliminating debt? One is you're going to be financially free. And what financially free means, most people think it's about having a whole bunch of money. No, financially free means you have options. That means you can do the things that you want to do and not the things that you have to do. It reduces stress. If you know right now you are always stressed out, especially if you are a married couple and you and your spouse are always arguing about money or the lack thereof, it's very stressful. So when it comes to eliminating debt, it's going to help you to live more stress-free. No, you're not going to always live a totally stress-free life, but we know one thing you won't be stressed about would be money. What about increased savings? If you're that person right now, you don't even have a savings. But to be able to eliminate debt, all the money that you're spending right now on paying bills, This is money now you can refocus toward savings, toward investment. If you got kids, putting money aside for a college fund. If you know you never put any money aside for retirement, you can now start focusing on that. What about improved credit scores? Most people don't realize because they have low credit scores, the number one reason is because you have high utilization. Most people say, oh, I have bad credit. No, you don't have bad credit. You just have too much debt. If you're able to now reduce your debt or pay off your debt, it could drastically improve your credit scores. And you could literally go from bad credit to good credit in a matter of 30 days. What about financial security? Are you that person right now? You are just so stressed out, you have anxiety because you are fearful that something's going to happen and you're not going to be able to take care of it. You know you don't have anyone that you can borrow from. You know you have nothing you can pull from. It's going to depend on you. And when you are able to establish financial freedom and eliminate your debt, it is going to help you to now build security in your life. Then once you eliminate debt, you're able to start building wealth. What about those of you who may be at a point you want to get started in real estate investing? You may want to go buy stocks and start investing in the stock market. What about you may just want to go and buy cars? I know people who buy watches and they invest in buying and selling watches. What can you do that will allow you to now shift the money that you were paying on bills to now shift that money on something that can make you money? And then what about improved relationships? Remember I said, if you're a married couple, you're always arguing about money. Now that you have no debt, guess what? You don't have anything to argue about. You probably do, but money won't be one of them. And what about increased opportunities? How many opportunities have you missed because you have so much debt that you don't have any money, any wiggle room to do anything else? I want to encourage you that eliminating debt is more than just saying, oh, I have money. If you can eliminate your debt, it's literally a game changer. It will literally change the game for pretty much every area of your life. So I want you to really focus and understand that if you can get your debt gone, it is literally going to help you to change the game. And understanding your debt. What debt do you have? Okay? Because some people may have some very simple things in their life, and they may think it's over the top, but it could be something very simple. But I want you to understand what kind of debt you really have, because some people have credit cards, some people have mortgages, some people have student loans, some people have installment loans, some people have car loans. What kind of debt do you have? Because based on the debt that you have, we got to now start putting things in place and a plan in place to now get this debt going. You got to know how much debt you have. Do you know exactly how much debt you have? Because I asked that question and most people say, oh, I have a lot of debt. Well, what is the number? Okay, we need to know a number. And the reason why that number is important, because now you need to know how much you will need to get this debt paid off. Based on how much you need, what do you need to do to get this debt paid off? Because there's a difference between saying, oh, I have $5,000 in student loan debt, opposed to saying I have $500,000 in debt. And that debt could be a mortgage, could be student loans, could be credit cards and cars. So there's a difference, because there's a difference on how you pay off $5,000 to how much you need to pay off $500,000. So assessing your financial situation. When I say assessing your financial situation, what do you have coming in? What do you have access to? Do you have what you need to get the debt paid off? Because a lot of times people have been in debt for years and they think that they can't get out of debt. But in fact is they can get out of debt. It's just a matter of them watching what they're doing with their money on a monthly basis to understand that money needs to be directed to certain areas. Because if you know you make a lot of money, but you still have debt because you've been focused more on entertaining yourself opposed to educating yourself, that's why you can't get the debt going. So you have to be able to identify your income and your expenses so that you can constructively, construct a plan of action that is going to help you to meet your goal and meet your goal in the least amount of time. You got to address those unnecessary expenses because if you know you're that person who likes to go out, you like to eat out, you don't like to cook, you like to shop, again, these are all unnecessary expenses at this time because those unnecessary expenses is what's causing you in the delay when it comes to you paying off your debt. So you have to address those and make a decision that you're going to have to cut back, if not eliminate those expenses so that you can help yourself to get your debt eliminated as quickly as possible. We talked about on yesterday for the creating a budget, that you got to create a budget. That budget is going to tell you what's coming in, what's going out, and what do you have left. And based on that, that is going to basically be your cheat sheet on how, what, and where you need to go to get things done. Prioritizing debt. So when it comes to prioritizing debt, what should you be paying off first? What plan of action should you put in place? What is going to work for you? And I would say you want to definitely prioritize whether it be your high interest debt or whether it be your good debt or your bad debt. So I just want to say this, the easiest way when it comes to prioritizing debt in this particular situation is I really want you to focus on the snowball method because the snowball method is going to be the best method in my opinion. And once you implement it and you start working it, I promise you, it is going to make a big difference. So when it comes to the snowball method, when you list all of your debt and how much you owe, then I want you to create another list and now list all of your debt from the least amount owed to the most amount that is owed. And what you're going to do is start working from the top of your list down to the bottom. We talked about identifying when you count the cost, how much money you can save. So even though you're paying the monthly amount, on your bills, we're going to use a credit card, for example. Your credit card is $500. That's how much you owe. But your monthly payment is $25. Well, when you did your cost-cutting exercise, you learned that you're able to dedicate $150 per month on paying off debt. So instead of paying just $25 on that credit card, you're going to add the monthly payment, which is $25, plus the $150 that you have set aside for your debt elimination. So in total, you're going to now be paying $175 on that $500 credit card. And you're going to keep adding that amount to that credit card until it is done. Once it's paid off, you're going to now shift that $175. That means the amount you have for the debt elimination fund, the amount that you were paying on that, the regular payment that you were paying on that credit card, and you're going to shift it to the next debt on your list. And if that next debt have a monthly payment of $65, now you're going to increase it by adding that $175. And whatever that total amount is, you're going to pay that every single month until it's paid off. So in essence, every month, once the bill is paid off, you're going to take the total amount, which is the regular monthly payment, plus the debt escalation fund amount, and you're going to add it to the next bill until you get everyone paid in full. And then if you have to, and you have enough credit available, and your credit score is in a good area, you may also want to consider doing a debt consolidation loan. If you can get a debt consolidation loan and just pay everything off, and now you have one lump sum payment, then based on what you were paying on all those expenses, then now you have all that money free and clear. But keep in mind, whatever the payment is on that loan. For example, if you were paying out $2,000 per month in expenses, but your new loan payment is $750, you want to be able to take, yes, that $750, but if you can now double it and now pay $1,500 a month, you're still saving money, okay? Because now you still have over $700 a month that you can save and now put in savings, and now you're paying $1,400 or $1,500 a month on the new loan. So those are the options that you have, and you can basically determine which option is going to be best for you based on your current situation. So you can also go and negotiate with your creditors. Again, especially if you have credit cards, this is the easiest one to do with. If you have credit cards, you definitely want to get on the phone and call all your creditors and negotiate a lower rate. If you call each bank has a lowest interest rate available per card. You just have to call and ask, what is the lowest interest rate you have available for this particular credit card? If you have been that customer that has been paying your bill on time, okay, haven't been late, they should be able to offer you that lower rate. Now, if you have been that person where you're late every month and you are borderline, incurring a late payment on your credit report, and you definitely incurred a late payment fee because you paid after the due date, then they will not offer you that lower interest rate. But if you've been paying your bill on time, then they will definitely have the lowest interest rate available, but you have to call and ask for it. By you getting a lower interest rate, that's also going to offer you the opportunity for a lower monthly payment. But that is not automatically. You have to call and ask for it. What about restructuring your monthly payments? You may have a mortgage, or you may have a car loan, or you may have an installment loan. Call your creditors and find out what payment options they have available to help you. Even though you may be in a position where you may ask for a deferment, where they give you maybe 2 or 3 months of no payments, which would allow you to kind of catch up on some of your other expenses if you have fallen behind. So again, you have to call your creditors and negotiate and ask what options they have available, because in most cases, they're not going to call you and just give it to you. What about additional income streams? If you are in a position where you can go and make some additional money, then that would also be a great idea, and it would help to escalate the process. If you're in a position where you can get a second job, especially if you are single, you don't have any kids, then by all means, go and get a second job. I will say this, and this is something that I have seen time and time again. I've had customers or had clients that go and get a second job and they're still in debt. How is that possible? The purpose of you getting a second job is to help you bring in more income so that you can get the debt paid off. The purpose of getting a second job is not for you to have more money, for you to go out and ball out of control and do the things that you want to do that are not going to benefit you. The purpose of getting a second job is to be able to add this income to your household budget and now implement it on all the steps that you've learned to help you to get the debt paid off a lot quicker. What about a side hustle? Do you have a gift or a talent that you can profit from, that you can make money from? Okay, if you do, that is another option. That is actually an option that may bring you a substantial amount of money. So if you have a skill, then look toward that skill and now get paid for that skill. What about start a business? Have you been in the market of saying you want to start a business? You want to maybe leave your job and become a full-time entrepreneur. If that is something that, again, because you have a gift or a talent that you can turn into a full-fledged business and not just a side hustle, then go for it, especially if it has the option to bring you a substantial amount of money, which can really help you to get the debt paid off a lot sooner. Monitoring your progress. Once you get this process started, you want to start eliminating your debt. We talked about you have to do a reconciliation at the end of each month. You got to watch what you're doing. You got to make sure you're getting results. You got to make sure you're getting things done. You don't want to just assume that because you're able to pay your bills every month, you're able to put, some money in savings, or you're able to put a little extra money aside for one of your expenses or your debt that you're trying to pay off. Don't assume, track everything and make sure you are getting things done. You want to make sure you're getting everything done because what's ultimately going to happen is you want to kind of give yourself a timeline. Well, if I am doing A, B, C, and D, I am on track to get this done in 6 months, maybe 8 months, or maybe even 3 months. So again, you want to continually track your progress so that you can let yourself know, yes, I'm making progress, even though maybe say with some of the credit cards that you got the interest rate lowered on. Well, because your monthly payment is lower, now you actually have extra money that you can kind of reallocate somewhere else. Or you may have extra money that you can add to your debt escalation fund. So again, this is one of the reasons why it's good that you are going to track your process so that you can make adjustments to your plan as needed. And then, of course, every month you do a monthly assessment. That means you're checking your bank statements. That means you're checking your budget. That means you're checking your credit card statements. If you're still using your credit cards, you want to make sure you are getting things done. Then you want to make sure you stay committed, because once you set up your plan and establish, the steps that you're going to take, you want to make sure if you told yourself, I'm going to get all my debt eliminated in 6 months, then you got to stay committed to the process. If you stay committed to the process, you are going to get it done. You got to develop discipline. Okay. If you know you're that person that you just like to buy what you buy because you work so hard, you deserve it. Again, you're going to have to instill some discipline. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable, but it's going to be worth it. And then small victories, whether you get one bill paid off, you get 3 paid off. Celebrate, encourage yourself, pat yourself on the back because you did it. And once you're able to get these done, get these bills paid off, and now see more money in your bank than you see going out to your creditors, you are going to be excited. So I want you to understand this is your time. You are in the right place at the right time. You just got to just take a step back and understand what you've been doing far too long has not been working. And if you do something different, you're going to get different results. I promise you, it's not going to take long. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable for a little while, but it's going to be worth it. If you can now see more of your money, keep more of your money, and enjoy more of your money, you are going to be happy, but more, you're going to be financially free. That's what I want for you and your